Human and wildlife encounters seem to be on the rise this year. It seems almost daily we've had reports of bears and cougars here on Vancouver Island. So why is this all happening? Dana Hutchings joins us now with more in Checkpoint.
Scott, anyone who's encountered a cougar or a bear will tell you that it's a terrifying experience. Just this afternoon, another report of a cougar near a Saanich school. And a quick warning, this story does show pictures of dead cougars. The search is on in Saanich.
I've heard something moving around down in here, but it's right down at ground level.
This after another cougar sighting, this time near Doncaster Elementary School.
There is something hot in here.
Using thermal imaging, officers scour the dense brush.
It's rare to find a cougar in an urban setting, but when we do take it serious, especially near a school. Cats can be unpredictable.
2 students spotted the cat, but officers weren't able to locate it. This is just the latest report of a cougar this summer.
We're continuing to get quite a few sightings of cougars this summer. It's definitely more than average, quite a bit more than average. As to why, it's hard to say for sure.
An attack on 18-month-old Julian Sylvester in Pacific Rim National Park was a chilling reminder of how close we live to wildlife.
His friend said, you know, I looked up and I saw the animal right on him and I yelled, "Cougar." The cougar had planted him face down and had his teeth right in the back of his head.
While this is the most serious attack so far this summer on Vancouver Island, encounters with cougars have been frequent. In the past month, the Buttle Lake campground was closed after a number of sightings.
The cougar was here.
And at the Goldstream campground, a cougar was shot after attempts to tranquilize it failed.
That's a juvenile.
The day before that in Parksville, a 2.5-year-old male was shot after it got too close to people at the Park Sands campground. Now more and more cougars are coming into residential neighborhoods. In the past few days, there have been a number of sightings in North Saanich.
They'll go where the prey is, which for cougars their main prey is deer, so they'll follow the deer, and if they can live in an area, if they can get into an area where there's deer and it's not too busy, then they might stay in that area.
Powell says the next concern is bears. Fruit trees are ripening and bears are trying to fatten up before they hibernate. The best advice, stay on alert and be aware. And that leads us to our checkpoint question today. Why do you think there are more encounters with wildlife? You can tweet us @check_news on Facebook at facebook.com/checknews, or you can email us checkpoint@checknews.ca. Scott, why are there more encounters? Well, Peter Powell's conservation officer says it's been a good year for cougars and their numbers are up slightly. Cougars go where their prey is, but the increase doesn't mean we are being overrun by cats in urban areas. Powell uses the example of the sightings in North Saanich.
In this case, we've got 1 or 2 cougars in the Saanich Peninsula area that are generating a lot of calls. So it's not like we're overrun with cougars. So an area like Saanich Peninsula, there is a lot of deer. There's some large acreages and large properties there that they can live there without getting seen too often, without it's not too busy for them. So that's probably what's happening. And we've got a number of cougars similarly in places like Machoz and Souk, Highlands, places like that, that are managing to prey on the deer and stay out of trouble for the most part.
Right.
If you do encounter a cougar or a bear, here are some safety tips. Always face the animal and keep it in your sight. Gather people close together so that you look larger, and never run or make sudden movements. Back away slowly. And that brings us back to our checkpoint question. Why do you think there are more wildlife encounters? Here's what some of you had to say.
Well, I know for a fact now there's tons of snow in the backcountry. So I bet you any money they're down here because there's no growth in the mountains.
I guess we're spreading out and taking up their room, or maybe it's just been really dry. And maybe they're coming in for that reason.
Fewer.
Fewer?
Fewer. I'm from the UK, and I've been coming here over about 6 years, and I see less now than I used to.
I just feel like we're moving into their world and we're invading them, so they have no choice but to come out to where we're at. We feel like they're coming out to where we're at, but we're actually going into where they're at.
I guess it's because nobody's shooting the deer in the city and the cougars are just coming in to chase the food source. When I was a child, we never used to have cougars in residential neighborhoods, nor did we have deer in residential neighborhoods. So hopefully, I don't know, the police could shoot some deer and feed the homeless people.
And here are some of your responses from social media. Jackie Wiegren says we're encroaching on their land and slowly leaving them no other choice. Some space must be left for all wild creatures. Jesse Thiessen from Twitter says people are being way too carefree with the storage of their garbage. It's amazing how so many people don't see the connection. And Patty Wells points out the cougars are here to feast on the deer. Watch your kids and small dogs. Scott, a number of great responses tonight. People seem to agree that urban sprawl seems to be a major reason, but whatever the reason for more encounters, as Patty mentioned, keeping everyone safe, of course, is the most important thing.
All right, thanks a lot, Dana. Dana Hutchings with us tonight with Checkpoint.